You're telling my dad.
I've marked the centres and punched the centres of the holly blank, and I've put it in between Steb centres. Just checking it, the blank doesn't foul the rest before turning the lathe on. And I'm using a spindle roughing gouge here and just running backwards and forwards, still rubbing the bevel, and just backwards and forwards. You can see the chips flying off here, and I'm just removing the corners, getting it to round. Every so often I just check, see how my progress is doing. I don't want to overcut this blank because it's only just big enough for the project I've got in mind. Just rested the gouge on top there, and if it bounces, you know you're not round. I moved up the tool rest there as well, just so we haven't got too much overhang. Using my Skew chisel here just to remove any lumps and bumps left by the roughing gouge. It gives a lovely finish, the Skew. Nice sharp Skew, and just gently run along. There's a nasty knot in this which has got an actual hole in it, so that's no good for what I want. So I'm just going to part this off at this point just to get rid of that dodgy bit of wood. I'm using the parting tool, going almost all the way through, and then I just finished that off with a handsaw. I've now put the blank in the chuck jaws and just tightening that up from both sides to make sure it's thoroughly tight. I'm using the toe of the Skew here just to create a dimple for the drill. I've now put a Jacob's chuck in the tailstock and a 12mm drill bit. It's not the best drill bit for this job, but it's the only drill bit I could find that was 12mm and long enough. So just advancing it backwards and forwards using the quill in the tailstock, holding the chuck the whole time so that it doesn't get pulled out, the Morse taper doesn't get pulled out of the tailstock and spin round, which would be very dangerous. I brought the tailstock back up now, and I'm just running along with the skew. This is a finishing cut just to create a nice neat surface, and also to get it running true because there's a slight wobble on it. Just making a few passes with a nice sharp skew, cutting towards the heel end of the blade. I'm using my spindle gouge here just to true up the end and get rid of the waxed end. So I'm just rolling that around the edge, rubbing the bevel, forming a little bit of a bead on the edge, and then running across the face, just getting rid of the wax and truing it up. I'm now starting to shape the first disc. Firstly, I go in with a parting tool, and then I'm picking up my spindle gouge and just forming a bead, just rolling that round, rubbing the bevel. I've put a Jacob's chuck in the tailstock, and I've put a 38mm forstner bit in there, and I've brought that up, and I'm gradually winding that into the end of the blank. It's getting a bit hot here, so I turned the lathe speed down a little bit. When I'm drilling, I always hold the chuck just to stop that coming loose, stopping the Morse taper coming loose. Still getting a bit of smoke here. It's a bit blunt, this Forstner bit. It's the only 38mm one I've got, so I'll have to sharpen it or replace that soon. I was test fitting the leather logo, then just making sure it fits and that I'm at the right depth. Just doing a final bit of sanding on this first disc using Turner's mesh, which is an abrasive a bit like Abranet, which I'm just going. I think I finished up on 600 with that maybe, but just finishing off that first one, making sure I haven't got any rough bits. I did forget to do this on a couple of the others before parting off, which is a real pain. Much easier to do it while it's on the lathe. Here I'm shaping the next few discs. First of all, I'm going in with a parting tool. I'm not worrying too much about how wide these are. They're nothing special. It's fairly arbitrary. So I'm just cutting a few grooves with the parting tool, working my way along. I've got 4 leather discs cut out as a trial run, so I'm cutting 4 wooden discs to make into fridge magnets. As I say, start off with the parting tool, which is nice and sharp, just running along. I'm then switching to my spindle gouge. It's a 3/8 spindle gouge, and I'm rolling round the sides here, creating a bead, rubbing the bevel. It's nice and sharp, this gouge, and I'm just rolling around, keeping the bevel rubbing. I'm giving the edges of the discs a sand while they're all attached, just makes it a bit quicker. Using the Turner's mesh again, which is just a different type of abrasive. No fancy finishes on these are just really messing about pieces, filling in some time. So I'm just using sanding sealer as the finish. I've now brought up the tailstock, and I'm just parting off now. It can't really go anywhere because it's held by the tailstock. I just hold it to just stop it spinning and catching on the parting tool. Fitting the magnets into the holes, just pressing them in, they're quite a tight fit. Just showing you my leather logos I've made. Here I'm using a fast setting epoxy. This is a West Systems 5-minute epoxy. It's another really good product, but it really sets quick, so you have to work very fast. Mixing it thoroughly, and then pouring a little bit into the recess where the magnet is. That'll flow around and stick that in nicely. That won't be going anywhere. I'm then spreading out a little bit in the bottom of each of the recesses to stick the leather in place. Usually when I'm doing leather work I use a contact adhesive, but as I've mixed up some epoxy, thought I might as well use the epoxy. Just spreading it around. I use these little pots which I get off eBay, these mixing pots. They're dispensing pots, and they've got little measurements on the side if you want to measure out a lot of liquid resins and things. And the lollipop mixing sticks I get off eBay as well. Buy those in bulk. Hello everyone, welcome back. There's a quick project making these fridge magnets, and it's made from leather with my new logo and very strong magnets which I got off eBay. It was a quick project that I did while the main event was setting, so which is another video. But there we go. It was really an experiment because I'd made these leather discs which I'm going to put in the bottom of my bowls, and I just wanted to see how well they'd come out, so I quickly knocked up these fridge magnets. Because they're so strong you can actually fix notes to the fridge with them. They're really good. I'd like to say a massive thank you to my brother who helped me do the logo. I designed this logo about 2 years ago, and he's the one who actually neatened it up and digitized it rather than a drawing on a piece of paper, and I'm really pleased with it. You'll see it, it'll be on everything. So yeah, I've had good fun with that. Alright, and thanks to all my subscribers, thanks for all the lovely comments. I try and reply to everybody. Don't always get notification of some comments, I just happen upon them, and I didn't know they'd even been left. So if I haven't replied, it's not because I've not replied, it's because I've not seen your comment. But thank you very much to everyone, and more videos coming soon.